All right, Vija wants YouTube to know and everyone in the future to know that he was here first, and we're playing Morde's Marvelous 4-color Slitherflash deck. So what do we got going on here? We've got a lot of cards with the keyword flash because we're playing the card Slitherwisp for blue, black, black. You get a 3/2 without flying, but it does have flash. Whenever you cast another spell that has flash, you draw a card, and each opponent loses 1 life. Very, very odd text, difficult to get used to, just because it actually makes your opponent lose life, not you. In a blue black cards that's drawing you cards. Then we're also playing Errant Giada. So 3 mana, 2/3 flash flying. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast spells with flash or flying from the top of your library. So in our deck, we have this many cards that have flash or flying. 29. And you might say, look at this beautiful house. Look at this beautiful wife. Is this my beautiful house? Is that my beautiful wife? But what you might actually say is, wow, that's a lot of cards with flash. How are we going to be able to deal with stuff? Well, we've got Solitude. We've got Subtlety. We've got Leyline Binding. I mean, these are already some of the better cards in Modern. Subtlety, not always. But with Ephemerate, these are some of the heavy hitters. And then we're also playing Icefang Codal and Spellstutter Sprite. So Spellstutter Sprite is especially good against any of the Cascade decks. And Icefang can be reasonable against creature decks. It's not always going to have Death Touch, but it always has Death Touch for Ragavans, right? As my good friend Morde likes to say. So that's kind of one of the more important things. And then by the time you need it to have Death Touch for anything else, you can get there in theory. Although we're not playing any of the snow duels that enter the battlefield tapped. So we really got to raw dog it and get a snow-covered island, snow-covered plain, snow-covered swamp into play because those are the only ones we have. It's going to be on YouTube, Frogomid, and it is on my Twitch highlights. Our sideboard is entirely white cards and Chalice of the Void. I don't really have too much more to say, so let's go. Did I get posted in the 5-0s with my Chandra list? Be interested to know. Did I? That's cool. Blue red gamers rise up. Yeah, there I am, Mana Symbol. Jamin. The number of different decks I've trophied with is really astonishing. It's the classic streamer thing. Sure. We do not have yeah, if you plan on playing blue red in Pioneer though, you'll need those anyway. So we don't have another white card to pitch to Solitude if we need to Solitude Ephemerate early. And we don't have a blue card to pitch to Force unless it's the Slitherwisp, which I really... Yeah, I am definitely in my scumbag American cruiser garb today over 9,000. Which honestly I don't mind. It's one of those... I don't know what the right way to say it is. Inside of each of us there are 2 wolves, are there not? Or some crap. So I think we're getting hit by Ragavan here. Obviously I could pitch here, but I'm not overly concerned what they can hit off the deck. Obviously, the treasure is something that I'm a little bit more reticent to let them have, but I am in the Canada. This is my home base setup. So I need another black source here. Assuming that's what I'm supposed to get. Yeah. Didn't get Blood Moon, so that's nice, because I would have had to pitch. So we can go black, black, blue here. Probably going to do that on their hen step. Which means we're going to take another Ragavan hit, potentially. Which... yeah, this is not enough of an opening that I feel like starting a fight. Slitherflash being a 3-2 rather than a 2-3 and not having flying, I mean, it really is one of those things. How'd you escape to the land of poutine and maple syrup? I mean, my contract ended, so... all right, hold on. I gotta put this in its normal spot. I was trying a different setup, but I don't think it really worked. All right, is this happening? Feel that soon the advantage of this Ragavan is just gonna run away with this game, but I'm probably just gonna have to wait until the end of this turn. Just hope my actual card advantage can keep up with their, I don't know. Okay, hit a Marsh Flats. That's nice. They go end step. So we'll play a Slither Wisp. I have double black. So I need a blue or black. This is getting blue. Okay. Oh, black, black, blue. This is a cast trigger. So if this resolves, there's nothing they can do about if I want to pitch Solitude and draw a card. One assumes they will immediately kill it. There it is. I think that's fine. I'm not pitching a Slither Wisp because cards that are instants do not have flash. This is not the best, though. Again, the mana advantage they have at this point is a little bit frustrating. Not that there's anything I can do about it one way or the other, but this is just a Ragavan runaway game, and I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, I'm sure Morde would have just pitched to counter the Ragavan on turn 0, and I don't know. I never feel right doing that. Okay. So I get to draw a card here. I was really hoping to draw another white card at some point, but we just kind of flooded. Oh, good. You know what? That is actually good because we can just hard cast that and hopefully take down their Ragavan. It's a fawn, then just hard cast a Blood Moon, and then we're done. What are we doing here? Surprisingly, for a flash deck, we're having a brutal time against Murktide. But I say Murktide, it literally was just a turn 1 Ragavan that ran away with the game. Because we don't have any... or I didn't draw any of the effective cheap cards. Why couldn't the bicycle stand up alone? It listened to too much Godsmack? Is too tired. Got it. Nice. All right. I don't think this is going to pull me back into the game, but like, we're going to save the forces for cards we actually need to deal with. Obviously, iteration could draw them into 2 helpful cards, but at the same time, it's just, we have to prioritize. Not feeling strong about this game either direction, but land's not the worst thing to see there. Bolt is fine. To be expected. Spell Pierce. All right. And we're just going to... Are we? I'll take another hit. They're on 1 card in hand. If I hit, like... If they hit nothing off my deck, and then we hit, like, Ice Fang into interaction, into... We can claw our way back. All the treasures in the world don't mean anything if they don't have card advantage or business. Of course, that's not going to do it. All right. So we're playing a multicolored synergy deck. Sometimes you fall apart a little bit, which is fine. Wow, we only have the 1/1 draw. So we could sideboard in Chalice of the Void to deal with all their 1-drops. That's like a classic thing to do to Murktide. But the other thing to do is grab, obviously, Celestial Purge to exile red cards, but then Rest in Peace really messes with it's like half their deck. I think I'll play 2. I'm gonna board down on forces. We don't have any other counter magic in the sideboard. I don't really want to get Blood Moon out of the game, but I guess I could play March to help and just make sure I have a Plains and try to hold on to a March, but it's also an answer for Ragavance. Let's board down. Oh, Dress Down's not great here. And then Subtlety's fine, but we'll cut 1. I think we went up on white cards, which is kind of nice because I felt white card starved. And it's also good to cut a Subtlety when we cut a lot of the blue cards. So we want to get a Plains as early as possible. Yeah. Good hand on the play. No green flash wolf. Those are my favorite. Wolfpack Ambusher, is that the card? It's a fine Magic the Gathering card. Nightpack Ambusher, there we go. But I don't know about that one. It's not, I don't think it's good enough for Modern. Obviously, this deck in general is not good enough for Modern. I think it's a very fringe strategy, even at the best of times. But that card is definitely going to be pushing you in a direction of like even more speculative. Feeling good about these Ice Fangs. I kind of just, yeah, I want to take the window when they're tapped down, just like slam this because 100% not going to get countered. Going to be a 2-for-1. Errant and Wisp into Casting Solitude from the top sounds gross. Spend 0 cards. Exile a creature. Make 3/2 lifelink body and draw a card. Yeah, that's the idea. Also, we don't have a land drop, which would be... okay. This is the one play that I didn't calculate for, was them going EOT Unholy Heat on it and then Dash Ragavan, but they didn't have the Ragavan, so nothing to worry about. Okay. Don't have a land, but we do have Spellstutter Sprite, quite possibly the greatest Magic the Gathering card ever printed. Babble. Okay. If they have Blood Moon, we only have to pitch 1 card to counter it, so that's not too bad. Let's try to resolve an Ice Fang. They have to use actual factual counterspell on this if they want to counter it. Or Mystical Dispute, I suppose. That's a card. I would love to draw a black source. Let's draw a black source. Black source. Not a black source. Subtlety's good here, though. Not great, but good. Playing around Shadow of Doubt, yeah. You gotta. I would like to draw a land. We did not manage to draw a land, but we did draw a castable spell, so let's make them use yet another counter. Spell Pierce or Counterspell. Please come on down. But the more we can run them out of those cards... Shame. Shame. I mean, if we get Blood Moon at this point, I mean, I'm not going to feel bad because this game has gone poorly. Kind of wire to wire. But, land? Hey, we did it. It's all over, folks. We got him. We got him. It's not in any way correct. Gonna fetch a Triland. As long as we leave up one white for instant speed, I think we're okay. I think I'd rather have black, but more blue. So we got black, black, blue, blue. Yeah, we do. Good. And double white. So I think we got all our colors covered here. And then we even have Spell Stutter Ephemerate. Why not fetch Godless and Jam Wisp? So I didn't feel like shocking there, I guess, is the answer. It's not a good answer, but that's the one I'm giving. Mostly probably not actually putting enough thought into anything that's happening right now because I'm kind of tilted by the incredible glut of non-lands. Okay, so let's do this. And if they try to beat it with a removal spell, we'll jam Ephemerate. So they might, if they're smart. Oh, they're okay. I say if they're smart. If it may be lost knowledge that you can shoot down the Spell Stutter Sprite in response to the trigger, assuming that you have a removal spell, and that'll sort of fizzle the counter. As long as you've reduced the number of fairies on my battlefield by enough. One assumes this means they just don't have the removal spell, which bodes well for my Slitherwisp coming up here. We have infinite ways to deal Pauper Check. Yeah, pretty much. That's a great way to describe what that is. That's definitely an interaction from Standard and Pauper mainly. Ledger Shredder. Okay, they're going to play a second spell. They're not going to play a second spell. Second spell not happening. We're going to go ahead and play my buddy, my boy. Really looking for this one to resolve. Doesn't have to. I suppose I could have gone March on this thing. But I want to save the March for in case there's a... Blood Moon still. Get out of here. Go get him. Do need to avoid them just kind of flooding the game with EI, because I have no answer for that at the moment. Would love to draw a second Spell Stutter Sprite. Yeah, that's exactly the card I was saying I didn't want you to play. So, thank you, opponent. As is the way. Hopefully they just draw something they want to cast at least. Because I would like to see them... I mean, that's just modern, though, Shadowless. It's it is a little surprising that my opponent has not. Let's go float white, white. I suppose if they don't float the blue, they can't spell pierce me, and they didn't. So we're good to go here. Can't be less than 3. X is currently 3. Done. All right. So I had to two for one myself on that one. Not my favorite, but did not die to Blood Moon. If we draw an untapped land, we just get to Solitude this. So that's not the worst. I'll take it. So if they have a removal spell, I guess I get to double fizzle it, which is kind of weird. It's like not my favorite play ever, but like we're definitely doing it. I Ephemerate, which counters the spell by removing the target, but also I'm going to counter the Lightning Bolt. I don't think I need this in my graveyard, so we'll just leave it where it is. Would I rather cycle that, or would I rather have the land? I guess I'd rather have the land. Really need to draw Giada or Slitherwisp, because we are getting quite far behind. Even the Ice Fang Codal would be fine. Heat. Run back to the same play, I guess. Of course, I have no agency left. I have no more cards in my hand that I can cast for now. They are good cards. If we get Blood Mooned, I'm toast. If they remove the spell stutter, well, could lose to the Ragavan hit. Looks like they're going to attack because they have another Ragavan. That's my guess, which is fine-ish. Yep. So I could cast Solitude and rebound this, but it's not really, doesn't mean anything. Okay. And this has flash and is a 2/3. I think I'm supposed to like try to get some other stuff out of their hand first. So I'm gonna try to put the 3/3 into play. One assumes that yeah, they have counter magic, or what is this? Subtlety, my subtlety. Okay. I'll put it on top. They can hit it with Ragavan, so that's a non-hit essentially. Because unless they have an untapped land and they want to spend 4 mana to cast a 3/3 flying, which at this point on the battlefield they might. But then if they're tapped down like that, I'll just cast Solitude and be in fine shape. Solitude is even in racing 2 subtleties. And that's the case. Okay. Okay. Things are starting to look up for the flash side. March is a good draw, as long as we don't get Blood Mooned while I'm tapped down. Here's my Solitude. think it's like, I think it's pretty correct to kill the Ragavan there instead of the Subtlety. If we get Blood Moon off this, though, consider an exile. Okay. If we get Blood Moon off this, though, trying to dodge Blood Moon forever. If we get Blood Moon off this, though, oh, did we did it? Am I alive? One assumes that they have counter magic in hand. I don't think I can go down to 3, so I'm gonna fight. Try to take down one of these subtleties during the upkeep. I suppose it's better to do now. This is the pretty much the minimum amount of card selection we're likely to see them have. Okay. And I can fetch a plains now, although I feel like I've played 2 out of 3. No, 3 out of 3 marches, which is so then we can only draw into a leyline binding to survive. Okay. Big Mama Jamma. Yeah. Very correct bubble usage, which is scary. Okay, good draw. We're definitely playing this. I suppose I should. So we're looking for like specifically leyline binding on top. I have a shuffle available, so in theory, shit. Okay, well, yeah, okay, just dead. That's fine. Murktide is a great deck. They're gonna beat the hell out of you a lot of the time. I think this deck is like reasonably well positioned against it, and I don't know if I just butchered those games. It's definitely not an easy thing to play, but I feel like our card advantage cards just didn't ever come together at all. They had, I mean, obviously the game one was just they played the Ragavan, and I didn't pitch my Solitude, and we lost to it. And I really don't know if I was supposed to do that or not. I never want to do that. I don't play enough Solitude decks that aren't blue-white control. Blue-white, you have a lot more other answers to Ragavan. But then I'm also a lot more familiar with the playstyle there, where I feel like I would have known what to do. But it's neither here nor there. We're on to match 2. Wow, I'm not keeping that. Does anyone know? So they changed the way that Twitch works now, and now there's this preview thing, but I don't know how to. Like, not interested says I'm not interested in the channel. There's no way for me to mute it. I don't. Does anyone know what the. Can I. There's no. I can't. Oh, is it? Okay, here we go. I didn't notice that before. There we go. I found it. It's not like it normally is set up, and I'm an old man, so change scares me. All right. 3 lands, Slitherwisp. I think I'm supposed to keep this. This can go for Esper. So we're going to be missing green mana. I could also go for Abzan. But I need the blue. I need double. This is not a great keep. Binding's the only. I mean, we could pitch, right? I'm not mulling to 5 though. Not with this hand. This is not that bad. I feel like we go bottom the plains. Go for Esper Triome. I mean, obviously, I don't have to fetch right away. We can see what we draw, but like, not dead yet. Opponent mulled to 5. Okay, so there may be hope. And if they mull to 5, okay, looks like could be Affinity. Like a bad Affinity deck that's playing green. It's a great draw. Even if I draw Ice Fang, I can't cast it, so we're not going to fetch this turn. The only possible punish is drawing into Spellstarter Sprite, but I think that's fine. Okay. I guess if I wanted to play Leyline Binding on 2. Hardened Scale 8 cast mashup. Could be. This is fine. Yeah, let's get the tower. Yikes. Come on, baby. What the EDH is going on. Right, indeed. I really want to counter that. So Subtlety can counter a... what's it called? Thought Monitor. I have a Slitherwisp. I have double black. Obviously, Aaron Giada has a great stat line, but it doesn't as reliably draw cards. So let's go for this. Just got to keep them slowed down here. I think this is correct. It's really not taking any damage yet. Woof. I'm probably supposed to Subtlety Ephemerate here, right? And just put their artifact count down to essentially nothing. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Sucks, but like, it also probably wins me the game. And they could be playing Metallic Rebuke. This is a window in which they can't rebuke me. Goodbye. Okay. I would love to change. Okay, they're off it. Going game 2. That's fair. So temporary lockdown. March is phenomenal. And no Stony Silence, so that's it. 4-color scam not playing red is weird. Isn't it, though? I think I'll just cut the forces. I guess Spell Stutter's probably a fairly limited use. But I don't... Especially on the draw. But, like... Is it... Yeah, the forces are almost definitely better than Spell Stutter, aren't they? Just because it's way too slow, and after the first couple turns, their cheap spells are not impactful. It's like when I'm counting a turn 2, like Welding Jar, it's like, yeah, no, not really. Keep that. they mulligan? I'll be right back. All right. Yo, we gaming. They went to only 6. Okay. Do I like standard? As a general rule, no. I have liked standards. Guilds of Ravnica standard, and I think the one right after that, Ravnica Allegiance, was phenomenal. Other than those two, it's very far and few between that I can enjoy standard for a very small period of time, but yeah, it's not. Although what we're looking at for the future, we'll see. I really hate Arena, and Arena is the way to play standard. Also, my collection is hopelessly behind, and I really don't like. I cannot make myself invest money in Arena. And I say invest. I hate Arena. I can't play Ice Fang with the lands I got. I meant to get Hallowed Fountain, and then I went, no, Godless Shrine covers all my colors. But covering all your colors does not always let you cast all the things. So, yeah. Okay. So this will get me a snow-covered island. Okay. I mean, we're in fine shape here. It's just I think I want to just counter that. No. No last card. Metallic Rebuke is nice. Sojourner's Companion is... That's my Solitude target. Golem spoiled. I think there was more than one Golem, right? If I'm remembering spoilers correctly. Black one. Didn't we already have a black Golem? I'm sorry. I'm just... I think we already had a black Golem spoiled, right? It's Ward 2. So I can pitch the March to kill that. And then we can set up double Ice Fang to kill the Sojourner's Companion. Yeah, there's a lot of characters that have 2 different cards, right? Or 3, I assume. There must be at least some with 3. Golem Scheming Guide. Is it the 1-drop 2/1? Is the Savannah Lions? Yeah. 1 in black 2/1? That sounds bad. It's not sound playable. So if I go... So I can either pitch March to Solitude or Solitude to March to remove one of their creatures. First we should see if they play a draw and play a Cranial Plating, I guess. We're going to exile the Patchwork. I have a beef with Saruman's name. Saruman of many colors is Esper. Well, you have to go by the character's color identity, right? Like philosophically as well as functionally. Characters of any color combination in Magic can wear or be described by any colors chromatically, right? So yeah, I know you know. Just in case anyone else doesn't. So they drew something that made them tank pre-combat. I'm going to march this, pitching Solitude. Which is going to cost me 1 mana and then pay 2 the ward. And then next turn, we're going to go Shock double Codal, so this needs to fetch green. Yeah. Okay. If they drew a Metallic Rebuke, I'm going to lose for this play, but I was going to lose for any play, I believe, is the case. So if they drew a Metallic Rebuke, and they did. That's so frustrating. I mean, I wasn't necessarily going to lose for any play. Well, I'm going to go down to 1 here, which means I can't fetch anymore, which is pretty devastatingly bad. I mean, I guess technically we could still win. It's not likely. We'll see what I draw, but my misfetching earlier in the game just doomed me because I wasn't able to deploy the double Ice Fang and just have them sit there with Death Touch. But that's fine. Affinities, they put together a good game here. Yeah. Uro on top? Oh man, I wish. Okay, it's probably fine. Oof. Oh, it's like the Riddle Golem? I mean, this is bad, but also... I don't know. We've had such bad runs with this deck. I think this is a bad keep, but at the same time... So this is going to go for Overgrown Tomb, then Island. We're honestly right here, we're just hoping our opponent has to take a bunch of mulligans so that this hand is not too bad. Which is obviously not my favorite place to be, but that's how today is going so far with this deck. This is one of those decks that I looked at this and I went, I'm going to have a bad time playing this. Morde is very, very good at playing these decks, but they are not easy to play. I guess I should get a Triome, huh? Literally no reason not to. That one, I need a green. Okay, green, black, and white. Okay, Solitude's a great pickup. So far, the turn where I'm missing business is next turn. I suppose I could Subtlety this turn instead of Ice Fang. In theory, I should sequence this Ice Fang fairly early in case I draw a white or blue card and I want to pitch. Unfortunately, do not have the March for that. Okay. Not relevant yet. Not relevant yet. Oh, now it's relevant. They got the mana off of it. But, I mean, nothing. Okay. I don't think they'll rebuke this Ice Fang. If they do, you look at the top 2 and put them back in any order, then choose land or non-land. The opponent guesses if it's the type you chose, then you reveal. What? That card is wild. That's so bad. I don't want to play with or against that card. What the hell? Please tell me that's a commander card. Please tell me that's a commander card. Do not like. Okay, so if we fetch Ketria Triome, it's not commander. Awesome. It's in the set. Hooray. No, I understand what it is. I just don't want that in my actual factual game of Magic the Gathering. I understand exactly the flavor of the card, and that's fine for Commander. I just don't. It's not even good, so it's not going to see a lot of play. Again, I don't like this in my pocket. Don't worry, I'm just an old man yelling at clouds. Yeah, I am interested in what is it called? Amass for orcs? Amassing orcs. They changed the vernacular of the amass orc. Okay, because before it was just amass, and in the rules text it was like, hey, it's a zombie army token. So this leyline binding is getting pitched to the Solitude for the moment, and then we're going to ephemerate to wreck all their tokens. Let's get that Triome. What happens if you amass then amass orcs? Does the army's creature type change? It won't change, but the question is... is explain? Explain. I think... So, yeah, well, no. I think what happens is you then have a zombie army and you have an orc army. I don't think it becomes a zombie orc. I think you have one stack of zombie army and one stack of orc army. So it kind of works the way that I would have preferred kind of initially. Okay, gonna play the snow-covered plains because this way if I cast the second Ice Fang, they both have Death Touch. So that's great. Mass equals Zumb army and a mass orc is orc. Yeah, no, I understand that. It's just that initially the reminder text says that it adds to an army. That army becomes an orc? That's just stupid. I mean, that might be the case. Put a +1 counter on an army you control. It's also an orc. Okay, so they go into a singular amass pile. Interesting and weird. They get a Springleaf Drum. Okay. Another Saga. So without trample or anything like that, we're in more than reasonable shape here. Does not tap for blue. Hold on. Not that I need it to, but... yeah, so this is Rebuke. Okay. So now we go... just cast Leyline Binding. Because next turn I can just cast Solitude and then I can ephemerate. So I don't need to pitch. I don't want to. We're kind of card precious and I need to beat a Saga. Okay, never mind. I mean, we're still not, you know. Might have to take a hit from this chunky boy, as Morde would call him. But, third saga. Well, looks like we'll get to go block Ephemerate, draw a card. Should set me up to draw 2. Dodge. Out of the way, my friend. Ice Fan Codal used evasion. Oh my. Huh? And then what? Huh. Okay. Don't know what that was about. Oh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's that sure is a Magic the Gathering card. Gosh. I can't have double blue up and cast the Ice Fang. We're gonna assume that they. Oh, I can always pitch for the force if I have to, but I'd rather draw this card now. I do have to be wary of when the saga pops. They're likely to have a. Okay, that gets my swamp, so this has Death Touch. Okay, so we can trade one of these for the construct as long as it doesn't have trample. But I do have to watch out for when that Shadow Spear comes in. Not that I'm. Oh, you remember that thing I said? Don't worry about it. So I want to save the temporary lockdown for post constructs. Have double white. Have double black. I think blue and black is what I want more of, though. No freaking way. Oh, but they can't equip this turn, so it's okay. Oh. That's fine? Does it have a rebuke? That's fine. We're just going to lock them down. And yeah, they're doomed. Cool. I mean, they keep a Frogmite, but we'll beat a Frogmite. Oh. No, they will not keep a Frogmite. Thanks, opponent. Gee, you sure are a good sport about all that. Oh, hold on. No, that I can't make that work. Boy, howdy. I should have attacked for 1. 4 rebukes, 3 sagas. No problem. No problem. Don't even trip. Don't even trip. Scary T. We got you. Man, I'm so happy to have my voice back properly. Don't even trip, dog. We got you. If you had a Flicker Wisp there, you could save the snake. Yeah, yeah. Flicker Wisp is kind of the type of exile effect that we needed there that do not have. I could wait until they attack, but that just opens me up to them drawing the umpteenth metallic rebuke. So let's just get this down. Also, this makes a thought cast slightly more expensive. Definitely have to look out for thought monitor here. Thought cast is not too scary. I don't. Okay, we're good. We're Gucci. Game is fine. Flooding a little bit. Need to draw Slither, Wisp, or Giada, and is it Arrington Giada? That's the name of the card. I think that's fine because we can just flicker Solitude and start working on their board. It's not even a bad thing to do that. Just get their board worn down. Leave the Rafine Tower in the deck just in case I want to cycle, which I would if I drew it. Get out of here. Okay. I mean, that means I already got to start attacking with the way the board is. No. 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 I don't think so. Please, can we draw one of our 7 card draw engines? That would be great. Overgrown Tomb. I guess that's basically the same thing. No longer believe Slitherwisp exists. Slitherwisps, are they even real? Does anybody know? No, but boy, can my opponent just keep drawing bangers. It's fine. Please attack with your Memnite. It's going to be a blowout. You might as well. You're not blocking with it. Okay. Slitherwisp is a social construct. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's some kind of demon snake, but you know, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. What are its creature types? I looked at it earlier and they're freaking weird. It's from Ikoria, so the world of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Is that a snake bear? Oh, it's Elemental Nightmare. It's Elemental and Nightmare. Two creature types that essentially are like they don't really mean anything. Like elementals and nightmares can look like pretty much anything as long as they're kind of snaky. Well, sorry, the nightmares tend to look kind of creepy and covered in tentacles. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Winning the die roll. Hell yeah. Man, this hand is functional? Oh, I don't trust this at all. It's got all my colors and it doesn't seem like it wants to stab me in the back. I don't know about this. Been playing a bit of Obosh recently. Came up with this variation. What do you think? Nobosh. Oh my. It's got a lot of colors in it for a Blood Moon deck that isn't a Blood Moon deck. It's difficult. It looks good. Well, there's nothing I can do about this. We're getting scammed, friends. No, wait, yes there was, right? I could have solituded that. Because the way it works is then they... Yeah, that's my bad. I've not played enough Solitude decks since Scam became popular. I could have Solituded that. It doesn't work the way I thought it did. Normal removal doesn't work. You have no opportunity to use normal removal, but exile-based removal would work there. Let's take the Ice Fang, and then we'll have nothing to do. I assume. Did not take the Ice Fang. Strange. Okay. No, I was supposed to Solitude there. There's a very good chance that what happens at that point is then they have an Undying Malice that's just stuck in their hand. It is possible they immediately just like go like, here's the Ragavan that I also had, but like it, you know, kind of. It's kind of what you're in for. And no removal, huh? Okay. We're drawing really well here. These are definitely all the things that could lead to winning this game. Oh, this is some kind of Jund deck. Am I taking the hit from this Ragavan? Hi, actually, cute bunny. I'm definitely going to Leyline Binding this Grief. The question is, am I shocking in so that I can Ephemerate? And then if they have a removal spell, am I getting blown out? If I Ephemerate here and they remove this, it means that I have a much clearer way for my Errant and Giada. I'm going to go ahead and do it. I don't know that it's correct. I need a second black for my Slithery friend. Got double blue. This also gives me double white. I had triple white. It's fine. See what happens. Looking good. Snack. Sorry if I'm right. You're stuck. Yeah, I didn't even notice that there weren't Blood Moons in your main deck because it just felt like an M Hayashi deck that was going to have 4 Blood Moons, but even his don't all have it. It looks fine. I'm not a huge fan of Cosmic Rebirth, but that doesn't mean it's a bad card. I just haven't played it yet, so I have no faith in this card. But I have heard it's very good. It looks great with Fable and Spyro. Not much else, but that's fine. It looks like a fine deck. It's something that is just not quite in my wheelhouse. Um, for whatever it's worth, I prefer mono red versions of anything that's similar to what you've put there. That's a really good card to have on top that I'm not going to cast. Don't have a flash card here. Sorry, I don't have a shuffle. I'll leave that back in case they have another Ragavan. It's not my kind of deck. It seems fine. Yeah, okay. So I think it's good. It looks good. I would be. There's a lot of decks that I would play or could play or have played that would really have trouble running into that. Yeah, I really like there's a real power that comes from those M Hayashi decks being monocolored. Um, being able to lean on a lot of utility lands is super fun. Um, and just the fact that red has the tools to outgrind. That's a little bit scary. So this is if you double landfall, reveal until you find an elf or elemental. That is sick. This is kind of awkward. Yeah, for some reason I thought it was like the first 6 or something like that. Because usually that's how they do those, but Nissa doesn't give up. She's just gonna hit. Elf or elemental. Interesting. So if you only have one, you just get it? Interesting. Which obviously you're playing more copies of Nissa, so that's not likely. No, it finds Risen Reefs and it finds... Okay, so let's go... Cast this friend. Oh. Hello. Goodbye. I mean, there's the mono black decks, right, Toph? Also, how you doing, my friend? The mono black coffers decks, right? And then M Hayashi was playing mono red with 8 fields and Geomancer's Gambit, and I think even copies of oh, that's spicy. Geomancer's Gambit, I think 8 copy, or I think sometimes copies of Cleansing Wildfire. Although Cleansing Wildfire lets them get things that have a basic type, right? No, it doesn't. No, I'm thinking of when you kill flagstones. So they're gonna get the Nessa trigger on this. The first one gives them a mana. So just a fancy what do you call that card? Lotus Cobra? Hardcast Fury. Okay. I can shuffle here and see if on top we get a subtlety. Let's get a basic swamp. that's fine. Ice Fang, okay. So I can go black, black, blue. I can't play both because I have the basic planes. Well, we'll play the Ice Fang. Draw past Windswept Heath. It says cast, so we can because those say if it's in your hand. The pitch elementals, right? There aren't any for me to. Oh, there are. The reminder text is not there. I think you can't do that. Okay. So we're gonna have Dress Down next turn. That's fine. Probably gonna kill Ice Fang and Energiata. Yep. So likely we're gonna go. Interesting. And one card left. I think we pitch for force here. It kind of sucks, but I think I have to. And fetch shock. Need a blue. We have exactly one. Thank goodness. Play Slitherwisp. Out of their two creatures, the one I need to kill slightly more is the Fury. But if they have a removal spell, I want to go that way. Suppose I could cast the Dress Down now, but then if they have the removal spell, they put me in more of a squeeze. They probably would have just used it now if they had it. So let's just cast it now. I'm not literally dead, assuming they have the removal spell, so we're going to draw 2 here. Also left up a white in case I draw Ephemerate. I can protect one of my creatures. Crap. Okay. Well played, opponent. You had the Soul Read. Not that it, they were playing around Ephemerate. They're not Dress Down. Brutal. It doesn't matter which one I block. Need to draw Solitude pretty much exactly. Just dead. Okay. Unfortunate. We had a good hand, and their game was really stumbly and bad, and we just got beat. They griefed me, right? Yeah. Purge. And rip. Good lord. But these... I mean, I keep subtlety for theoretical early game stuff, but I don't think that's the way I want to try to fight. Maybe it is, though. I've seen Merfolk just annihilate Scam by juggling subtleties. Just like really messes with their griefs. So let's play 2 rip, 2 Hollow Moonlight. Go down a Spell Stutter because it's usually too slow. And an Ephemerate because it's a synergy card. Woof. 23 lands. I mean, we've proven to be land light every game, but I'm not mulling against the scam deck, so let's just hope and pray. Thoughts and prayers. This is a bad play, and you should not do this at home. Just feeling a little demoralized after the last game. It's like if we draw the second land, this hand is very, very strong. Especially if it's a blue-black source. It's just sad that we lost the last game, considering Nissa never triggered. They never played a fetch land after they had the Nissa. They had a fetch land in place, so they didn't even play a regular land and then fetch afterwards. Like, they didn't do anything with her. So not getting scammed. Land. Son of a bitch. Solitude also would have been fine, but okay. So what do we play? Murktide, then Affinity. Now we're here. Yeah. Somehow they're going to hit a land or Ice Fang. Spell Stutter. Okay, that's fine. They're not going to cast that. If they have a Ren 6, they don't have a second land. Oh, man. They kept a one land or two. Oh, come. Everything sucks and I'm going to die. I did this to myself. And if I had mulled to 6, we probably would have been in okay shape because obviously their game plan has not been particularly smooth or quick. Oh, yeah. I'm off it. Let's go next. I just don't care. I just don't care. Okay, we weren't getting there anyway. North Lagos. I mean, I haven't like it's like a soft tilt, right? It's one of those things where I really wanted to play this deck. I haven't gotten to talk to Morde or hang out with him properly since I've been back. He's just been kind of radio silent a little bit. No, I mean these kind of decks are very demanding and they're difficult to pilot at the best of times, and they're not low powered, but like you really need to like kind of have everything click together very carefully, and you need to be a little bit lucky to keep up with the rest of the format. Like there's a lot of powerful cards in here, right? But you can't do anything powerful. You just have to draw things out in the right sequence, and it's playing tempo for me is like playing hard control for most people, where it's just like difficult and you lose a lot and you don't always feel like you had agency, but you probably did, but you don't know that you didn't. And if you're not just genuine, this is Glimpse, which means I want to limit their number of permanents ASAP. Okay. If I play the Plains, I can't cast the Slitherwisp. I need to cast the Slitherwisp in order to have a shot here. I can't currently... Well, I can pitch for Subtlety, but I have to pitch the Slitherwisp, and I really don't want to do that. Okay. I don't think I can just play the Slitherwisp naked here. I'm going to wait another turn and have the Ephemerate up, but that means we also have the Subtlety up, which is nice too. And Spell Stutter is a phenomenal draw here. So what I'm saying is I don't think I was ever on the deck, so it's hard for me to get off the deck, if that makes sense. Like I knew this was going to be challenging and we needed to be lucky and okay. Boy, is that ever not going to cast Nominath. Let's go blue, black. You like playing decks you think you will hate. Well, I don't hate it. It's just hard and it's good to get out of your comfort zone and play things that are challenging for you. Sometimes it works out and you have a nice growing experience. Sometimes it's a little too hard or you're just not on the right day and it doesn't work out. But that doesn't mean it was a bad choice. Normally, I don't like playing decks I think I'll hate, but sometimes I like playing decks that I think are going to challenge me. Yeah, and it's like these 4-color mana bases can be really tricky, and it's like a lot of reasons. This feels like an auto win here, though. At least in game 1, this is going to be really child's play. I assume they're on like the slot machine version. Yeah, they are. There's omnisciences and stuff. They're playing black. Oh, so they can hardcast a Traxai, I guess? I don't know what's going on with that. This deck is also full of like some of my favorite cute cards that are just like definitely not good enough for Modern right now, but like if you play them exceptionally well and everything oh, Halo Forager, that's right. Didn't want to stream our showdown. I see how it is. So I was up at 5:30 a.m. for no good reason, and I couldn't get back to sleep. Yeah, I see the Halo Forager. And so most of the morning I was like, I played some league, like some of a league, and then I tried to get back to sleep. And then I played some of a league, and then I tried to get back to sleep. And then I did sleep for a while, and then when I got back up, that's when we ran into each other, Eggy Benny. So in normal cases, I stream most of when I play. Yeah, well, the reason I like part of what I couldn't sleep was I was just like churning through ideas for this weekend for the face thing. So I think I just needed to get some of that out of my head, which I did. So that worked out. And then I went to the gym after our match because I needed to blow off all the steam from the stress of our matchup. I knew I think it was in 2 of our games where I was like really trying to make sure that I didn't die to Invoke Despair. That was like a really big thing in my head, is like I was like juggling your Shieldrids, but then I also had to make sure that I didn't set myself up to just get sixed and die. No, Invoke's a fantastic spell. I really like the mono black mid-range deck. If I was going to play something that wasn't blue-red, it would probably be that. Do I not have a counter for this? Do not currently have a counter for this. So let's play Ice Fang and draw 2. Yeah, I can draw a lot to. Oh, I could have played the Slitherwisp first. The counter I'm looking for right now is Force of Negation. So let's play Slitherwisp and then Ice Fang. Can I do that? Black, black, blue. No, I can't do it. So Ice Fang draws me 2 cards. The Slitherwisp only draws me another 1. I could also pitch. Oh, but if I play the Slitherwisp, then I can pitch for Solitude, exile this, and then draw 2 from that. We also can draw Ephemerate, which is a counter right now. So I think playing the Slitherwisp is better. It would have been better to play the Slitherwisp in the first place. I didn't, so let's not get hung up on it. And this is white, black, blue. Okay, cool. We could draw Dress Down and play that, and still okay. You could also just pitch for Subtlety with no target. So as long as we're drawing into colored, I can play the Leyline Binder, right? Because I have the Ketria Triumph. All right, let's play that and draw 2. But this turns off drawing Spellstutter Sprite. So right now I have 3 Spellstutter Sprites, 3 Ephemerates, 4 Force of Negations. I need to keep a blue card in my hand for the Force. That's not a problem because we're always going to have the Subtlety or the Ice Fang. I can't cast either of them. I could pitch that way. I think we go pitch for Solitude here. And this lets me draw into Dress Down, which lets me draw further. Oh, we could also, theoretically, we could draw enough stuff that we could just kill the opponent by pitching here. Target that. So now I have to go pitch here. Solitude is off the stack, so let's go for that. No good. Fine. There we go. So exile that. No target. Okay. So that's good. It's good. I mean, let's just force their thing and let them know it's over. Unless they have land into another Cascade. I bet. I should have let the thing go on the stack, because if they have the other Cascader, they can cast what I assume is their final Glimpse of Tomorrow. So that's a punt that might cost me the game. Guess we're going to find out. Oh, my God. Yep. So that's definitely how you don't do that. All right. That's on me. I was making the big brain play. I should have won that game almost definitely, and I just not in the best mental space. We were talking about a lot of stuff. I'm not mad about it. Creatures. So just Chalice. I mean, Rest in Peace is not pointless here. Hey, Jen and I. Dress Down is no good. Trim of Solitude. Probably take out all the Solitudes and play some Rest in Peace, but I think it's fine not to. I'm really annoyed that I lost that. I really... This morning, man, the sleep, having the wrong amount of sleep is really messing with my head. Like, this morning I threw a game. I won the match, but I threw a game where I played the Chandra Hope's Beacon, and then I used the wrong plus, so I couldn't flash back my light up the night and just kill my opponent. And it was like, oh, I lose on the spot. Awesome. That's just the kind of day it is. It's fine. Yeah. I mean, I went to the gym. That was good. Is this... Can I keep this? Doesn't interact with their deck at all. I mean... Ship that. There we go. That's the hand. Man, that was such a sick sequence last turn. It's a shame I punted the game. I also think that if I had gotten some more chip damage in, then that might have been lethal off the Slitherwisp triggers. And also if I'd sequenced correctly, it would have been. So like this is the kind of thing I'm talking about with playing a deck like this. It's just very demanding. And then you make small, like I mean obviously I made a big mistake, but on top of the big mistake, I made some small mistakes that really would have potentially had a huge impact on the way that went down. I mean, it plays like other kind of flashy tempo decks, but those are not particularly viable in modern. I would say, I guess the only one, and is exceptionally well known, is Murktide, right? Murktide, you have so many more micro decisions just because of things like DRC Bobble. What's the name of the card? Datha. So this is black, blue. Name of the card is Consider. Please don't kill my Slitherwisp. Please don't Mystical Dispute me. Subtlety. That's fine. What is happening? That's fine. We can beat that. I just hate that this is happening. I mean, I guess it's 2 forces, so it's really not. Get out of here. Well, thanks, the Grudemer. One huge thing in order to have that kind of good mental game is one, don't, as much as possible, don't let magic be the center of your world. Which it's great to be passionate about a hobby. It's just really hard when that hobby can be so unforgiving. By which I mean good players make the best decisions, all of the best decisions frequently, and still lose. What is this? Another subtlety that they mistap for because it costs double blue? Uh-huh. Okay, so another violent outburst. So they're just spinning the wheel here. Let's see how hard they hit. It's 4. Yeah. Okay. They get to go again, but now they get to go with 3 if they want. They might be afraid of Solitude, or they might just count on their deck to pay them off for this. Okay, so they're just assuming there will be no Solitude, and I can't Solitude here, so we've lost. I can't possibly... I believe that I can't possibly draw into... Oh, yeah, I can, because I have the Slitherwisp. Huh. Yeah, that ain't it. Okay. You can't because you... Oh, I did. You're right. Thank you. Thanks for pointing out the thing that I did. They had double violent outburst there, plus binding. Oh, we did have binding. That's okay. I didn't draw into it. I could have... No, I couldn't. Thanks, Tinkfink 1, for reminding me that we have ley line binding. Again, just generally tilted on playing this deck right now. But you can't make... it's hard to make magic the center of your world because it can be very punishing to you have to be very good at like knowing that you are a good player in the aggregate and that like any one game, match, or league is not demonstrative of that. I think it's something that comes pretty easily to certain types of musicians like me. I mean, there's others who are the same way where it's like stuff keeps them up all night, and that can inspire you. I don't know. There's a lot of very valid ways to be good at things. All right, playing for the 2/3. Good hand. Good hand. This is getting the Indatha Triome plus Watery Grave can cast Ice Fang, Ephemerate, pretty much everything in my hand. Island. Ha. Okay. Indatha Triome, Watery Grave casts Leyline Binding on the crab. So that's what we're going to do. Because most of their 2-mana mill's not too scary. Hey, Mistaken N. Or as I always call you, Mistaken N. Thanks for the raid there, friend. Probably should have fetched with the Flightistrand so that if they draw into a Archive Trap, they can't. It's not what I meant to do. I meant to cast the Leyline Binding that I described that I wanted to play, but that's the kind of day we're having. I could Solitude it, and I probably should. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Because we screwed up, I'm going to say we definitely know 100% that they're playing the mill. I was supposed to pitch the Leyline Binding. Man, I'm just being garbage right now. They're definitely playing... No, this is the way I wanted to do it, because my joke was that they're definitely playing the mill sphere that exiles... Or the 2-mana artifact. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You should be shadowless. I have not... I have not done a good job of setting up or describing anything. So that's okay. I got to play Errant Giada this turn rather than removing this crab. We will get to the crab eventually. Also, I didn't get a second blue source, so if I need to hardcast this force, boy, can I not do that. Which is something that I would really like to do right there. But when you're playing like garbage, you're just gonna play like garbage. And specifically that thing I talked about happening where I shouldn't have fetched because they were going to Archive Trap. This is like a great demonstration of like knowing all the things that can happen in Modern and then just playing into all of them despite the fact that you're very clearly a mirror. No, that exists. And I said exiles because I'm looking at a bunch of cards that exile. You know it's there, but it's even worse than knowing it's there. It's like literally telling you folks all before it happens, like what it is that I'm trying to play around, and then just not doing it. It's really something else. Please grace us with your mill mastery. Blitz, you wouldn't even believe the amount that I've butchered this game. It's really been staggering. Upkeep cast the Leyline Binding is kind of cool though. Which means we're gonna draw the spell starter, which means I have something to pitch to the force. I would love to draw or cast that. It's probably gonna get milled off the top, but if it doesn't, might have ourselves a ball game. Mill's an abomination. Changed my mind. It punishes Titan. And that's one of the best things that can happen in the format. Avert your eyes. We did it. We saved the Slitherwisp. Good. Good. I mean, mill has existed since alpha, right? So Antiquities is millstone. Yeah. You're right. You're right. All right, we're gonna counter that. Who would win in a fight? One crabbly dude or one stuttery gal? I still own 4 foil spell stutter sprites. Not Lorwyn. They are modern masters, but they're down to 2 cards in hand. Yeah, this is a strip mine. No point in casting the Leyline Binding off the top. But I will shuffle it. I don't want to draw that. What lands do I have to fetch? Can this get the Overgrown Tomb? It can. Good. 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 There are ephemerates for me to draw to. Also, I can cast the Slitherwisp with Overgrown Tomb, so we're getting there. Man, I was really excited for that self-mill deck in Pioneer. This is a sick draw. And it looks like it's not going to be able to maintain existence, which is such a shame. That was so cool. I mean, I haven't played it. Obviously, it's a deck you can try to play. So if I play Slitherwisp here, we're attacking for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then Spell Stutter almost kills them. Burning tickets on Pioneer Mill and Pioneer Gyruda. Ooh. They have enough Field of Ruins to put me on. They drew all 4 Field of Ruins. Brutal. On the plus side, it means they haven't drawn as many mill spells as I'm sure they would prefer. Please play a 2 CMC mill spell. They're fielding. Of course they are. Okay. I mean, I could play the Slitherwisp off the top. Probably should. That makes it lethal this turn. However, the way they've tapped, I'm assuming I'm about to die. Okay, drown. Yeah, sucks. Okay. And I can never cast this Slitherwisp in my hand, so it's just pitch fodder. So I'm going to put them to 4 here, and then we play Spellstutter Sprite, and that's lethal next turn. I mean, I have to. What I'm saying is, I will cast the Spellstutter Sprite at some point on their turn. So if they Field of Ruin, they force me to just jam it and then hope I live. And unfortunately, they didn't Tasha's me last turn because we had the Solitude sitting on top that realistically isn't going to do anything. Tabs for black, Fatal Push. If the last card in their hand is Interaction, then I have more time. If it's a mill card, most of them won't kill me, although Tasha's Hideous Laughter sure could. I'm F6ing. This game is no longer in my control in any way. I guess if they play Crab and then Field of Ruin, like I have to Solitude it. They won't gain any life though, right? How many Solitudes left? I don't know. Okay, this means we probably win. They'd have to draw something very specific here to win. Like that. You got to be kidding me. They cycled Fractured Sanity into drawing Fractured Sanity. Brutal. I misplayed a bunch of times that game, but we shouldn't have, like, we shouldn't lose like that. That's just. And if it had been Tasha's, we probably would have lived, right? It's so frustrating. That's been this whole league, though. I think subtlety. I feel like the deck is one or two cards off being good. It's I mean, it's a synergy deck, but the synergies aren't like ungodly powerful. They're very soft. Why am I bringing in Rip? Don't you want to shut off all their stuff that they do? I don't. I remember it being a good thing that you shut off the graveyard, and they're like, oh no, yeah, because they've got Drown Lock, they've got their draw card, and I have no other reasonable sideboard cards to play. It's one of those things that, like, if you have nothing better, it tends to be something. I can't cast this Ice Fang. Okay. Chalice, I don't need 1-drops, so I could have gone that direction. I didn't. I don't know if I was supposed to. I love Spellstutter Sprite too, but it's just not very good. Like, that's the problem. Is it's not bad. It's just not. It's not good enough. Like, I lost to the. Oh, that'd be really funny, Shauna. I lost to the Glimpse of Tomorrow deck, and this deck should never lose to that. But we just had 2 games in a row that were just. I'd probably really mismanaged the second one. I definitely, like, just straight up punted the first one. It's playable in a world where Aether Vial's a good card? Maybe, but that's not this one. Aether Vial's a playable card, but I wouldn't call it a good card. So no second crab. That's nice. Vial, yeah, Vial's fine. It really depends on other factors. The biggest problem with Aether Vial, I think, is that the best deck or the most popular deck in the format is Wrenn and 6. Right, so you have to dodge the Wrenn and 6 decks and the Binding decks, many of which are the same decks. And they're very, very good. And people like playing them. And play a lot of them. Yeah, Prismatic Ending is a card that I think is now it's like a fashion card. Like, it's not always popular. Don't remember the little little comb. We're not putting that in my graveyard because I don't want to start turning on their Drown in the Locks. Not that it's a big concern, but wow, 2 Visions of Beyond that have drawn a single card so far. That's awesome. Whispers of the Muse is not a good card. I mean, it's a mill card. I don't know if any of the mill cards are good cards, but like you definitely play it. So we're definitely going to get Archive Trapped. They also now have black mana. I don't need to jam this Arangiata into their activated Fatal Push. I can just do it at end step, and I won't be able to pitch for force. Just hoping they don't have it. I have to play it. I can't play nothing. Okay, we got it. Okay. Definitely moving. So I can play Solitude by pitching a card from my hand right now. You have to pitch the cards from your hand, but the Evoke Elemental can come from another zone. So if I want to just clear the top, I could do that. Or we can kill that Ruin Crab, which is what I'm going to do. Have to do it now. Okay, they fetched for me. Thank you. We're going to leave the Solitude in hand in case... No, I should have pitched the Solitude here. And then I'm going to mill this Delta for me, which is nice because I don't really need any more lands. Get out of here, little homie. Shoot crab. Opponent's silly. I mean, not everyone plays mill optimally. I sure don't. It's a deck that I have no interest in learning to play well. It's very complicated. People who do it very well do so because they put in a lot of time and energy and attention. I'll probably play that if I can. I don't. The reason not to is if they just like, I don't know. Yeah, okay, we'll not. I would love to be able to cast that, but I cannot. Crypt Incursion. They're going to gain 6 life from this? Oh, they're targeting themselves? And they're going to gain 6 life from it. So either way, they're getting 6 life. We've got another fawn on top. I think this is fine. It buys them 2 turns for what my clock currently is, but I'm going to assume that I can increase that at some point. Yeah, you got to go to Titan Town if you want to play mill and win. You got to take it to Titan Town. Oh. Well, there's a reason that I wish I had the Leyline Binding right now. I think I have to counter this. It's going to be big trouble if they have a Drown Lock here. Which explains why they would have Crypt Incursion themselves versus me when they had the opportunity to do either. Yeah, this is going to be a problem. It's not a problem yet, but boy, is it about to be. Well. God. Okay. I could have attacked still, and I didn't. this is the kind of day it is. This is the kind of day. Resolves, because I want to solitude that instead of subtlety. We'll do it before they do that. Poor sequencing on their part. Oh, yeah. They've definitely been reasonably loose through this game, which, from my side, thankfully. What's sequencing? That's a great question. As a judge, I don't expect people to know anything. That's one thing I've learned. Don't expect people to know anything. I'm not countering that. It's fine. Either we're going to get rid of this bridge and be able to win this game, or we're not. I don't really think their life total is going to be that relevant of a factor. Okay. Can attack for 1. So they should be at 23 if I had attacked last turn, right? 22. No, I understand Shadowless. I know exactly what. Couldn't you have cast that off the top EOT? No, I don't have black, black, blue, because Slitherwisp's cost is ridiculous. It's so badly costed for how mediocre of a card it is. Like, it really doesn't deserve such a ludicrous restrictive casting cost. But it has it. Boy howdy. Boy howdy is it harder to cast than Luris. And for really what seems to be no good reason. It's not a great card. I can't imagine that it feels like a decision for standard. And if it is this hard to cast, why doesn't it have flying? Like, it's just one of those things where you go like, why did they have to make this card this bad? It's not bad. It's just like a shade worse than it needs to be playable. Okay. Well, that's an okay draw. That's why you need Aether Vial for it. But then you're setting up brutal. Please mill me, opponent. Please mill me. So how many Leyline Bindings ended up in my graveyard? 1. And then is it just the 1? Oh, and I pitched 1. So we got 2 more. No, you didn't draw another. Okay. So now casting Slitherwisp is getting a little bit hairy just because it forces me to draw cards, which I need to find the Leyline Binding. There's another one in the graveyard, so there's 1, 2. So there's only 1 left. And unfortunately, if they cast Tasha's, I want them in the deck, but I also don't want them in the deck because get any value from Wisp, you got to Violet in. I just don't want to play a flash deck with Aether Vials. It just is. I understand that it's like it creates mana efficiency, but it's just not a card I want to play. It definitely works, but it's not. It doesn't. Maybe it is better. It almost definitely is, but then it just. I feel like you're propping up. Yeah, it might be really the way to make it work. Yeah, it definitely feels bad. Because you're like, I'm playing cards with Flash, and then Aether Vial giving it Flash. Like, that's part of the value of Aether Vial, but I'm not getting it. Surgical My Solitudes. I will let that resolve. I could ephemerate my Spellstutter Sprite, but I actually don't need those Solitudes. Leyline Binding I would have countered. Go. Leyline Binding. Okay. Leyline Binding. All right. Now I can't see. I'm blind, I am. So at least I can get that. Would like untapped green. And I have double blue to hardcast the force. An excuse to pitch for subtlety. Wish I could just cast the subtlety. Can we just ping them to death? No, we'd run out of cards in the library. I need to find the Leyline Binding. I need to be able to make attacks. Oh, we just ephemerate the Spellstutter here, right? Yeah. Drown? What is this? What is it targeting? The ephemerate. Okay. Hold on. They can do this. They kill my Spellstutter. We pitch for subtlety, put the crab back on top. So let's pitch for subtlety with Ice Fang, then cast the subtlety next turn again. I guess none of that gets rid of their crab. And I have no Solitudes left. Kind of need to kill this Hedron crab, huh? I don't want to force this drown and then die to their immediate drawing a burn spell. But honestly, there's a good chance that, like, no matter what I do, it doesn't matter because we're just, like, not going to draw the Leyline Binding in time. Play Ice Fang first and draw? Sure. I guess that makes sense. See what we pick up. If anything. No, I can subtlety, but then how do I deal with the... How do I ever deal with the crab is the question if I don't counter it. Yeah, we're going to force. I'm just not particularly pleased about it because I feel naked. And again, this all goes back to, like, in the early game, I specifically pitched a Solitude to a Solitude where I should have kept the Leyline, or pitched Leyline Binding to a Solitude where I should have kept the Binding. We just need them to brick a couple turns, and theoretically we could still win. I'm just not going to cast this. There's nothing I need. I don't want to cast this during upkeep. I want to keep as many cards in my library as possible. It's going to draw me the Slitherwisp. So attacking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's a chance. Are there any more forces in my deck? I don't think so. There's one more force. So that's lethal. I can play Slitherwisp, draw a card, go down to 3 cards in the library, pitch Subtlety, draw 2 cards, go down to 1 card in the library, and then I can't win the game. But if I do it in the reverse order, it works, except I won't have any blue cards left. There'd be 1 effectively if you missed that attack you missed. Yeah. Well, hold on. 3, 4, 5, 6. So this pings them for 1, so they're at 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, we're going to take the line. We're going to take the line I can try to take. We might have a draw on our hands here, actually, right? I have to draw a blue card and the force. I don't think I can do it. I can't do it. Fuck. Okay. What were you telling me to wait for, Shauna? Obviously, I jumped past it and just punted in. So we went 1-4 with this. These types of decks are very, very difficult to play, especially in the modern format, which is so high-powered. Not that this is a bad deck at all. Can cast Wisp and Subtlety after the trap resolves. Yeah, I could have done that, and that would have got me close to winning the game. See? Things, niche plays that I, definitely wouldn't think the first time playing the deck. And that would have given me exactly enough time to kill them, assuming they bricked once. So that's a play. Yeah, I really should have done that. Can you settle to put your own spell on top? As far as I know, you can. Yep, you can. Yeah, so that was the play there. And then if they bricked for 1 turn, we were going to win. So the first Wisp would have drawn the second Wisp and killed you. Oh, maybe it would have. I mean, we'd have the I don't know. I can't process any of that right now. But what I can process is these decks are fine. They're very, very difficult to play. If you're interested in this kind of thing, I highly recommend you watch Morde Too Light to play them when and if he ever streams again. But if you're in the future on YouTube watching this, make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, check out any of my other videos you're interested in.